Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy VTech Allen. Welcome back to the series of Love It or Hate It, where we take some of the most talked about cars in the car scene and also forgotten cars and decide whether to love it or hate it. And today in the agenda, the car we got is the Acura RSX. Some people might say this is like the best car you can get into if you're trying to get in the JDM car scene or you're trying to get into the K Series world. And other people might actually say, like I do as well, that this is technically the fourth gen Integra. Everywhere else around the world, they call it the Integra, except United States and Canada. But it is what it is. So today we're going to answer the question, should you love it or hate it? So before we get into the RSX, let's talk about a little brief history about the RSX. The Acura RSX replaced the Acura Integra in 2002, and right away it had big shoes to fill in. The Integra had already become one of the most respected and iconic front-wheel drive sports car ever built, so by changing the name wasn't something that every Honda fan was excited about. The RSX was sold from 2002 to 2006 and only came in two trim models, the basic model and the Type S. The Type S, if you didn't know, is technically just like the Type R for Honda. Same thing, just Acura has Type S and Honda has Type R. The base model RSX came with a K20A3 and it was paired up with a 5-speed manual transmission. It was making about 160 horsepower. The K20A3 is technically the first version of the K series, so it's not gonna be the best K series. Later down the line, they got way better and better. The Type S got a legendary K20A2, making about 200 horsepower, and paired it with a 6-speed transmission. So, like I said, the A3 was kind of like the prototype. It was like the first version, and when they released, obviously the Type S, they like kind of mastered the K series. They made it way better, and this is like the best K20 K series that you can get if you're trying to do swaps for your cars. Even today, the K-Series is considered one of the best four-cylinder engine that Honda has ever created and could be one of the best four-cylinder ever created by any company, to be honest. But let's talk about why people actually love the RSX. It's because of the price. You can find yourself a decent RSX between $4,000 to $6,000. Even on Facebook Marketplace, if you go on Facebook Market, it's scary because you can see some good deals. But at the end of the day, the cheaper it is, you know you're going to find some problems on these cars. So it won't be perfect. And there might be stuff from the previous owner that you're going to have to fix on this car. And that's totally fine, because it gives you a reason to learn how to work on cars and get yourself into, like, it gives you a reason to work on cars. And if you don't know how to work on it, it's perfectly fine, because you can go on YouTube, you can go on Reddit, and someone's out there already has a YouTube video or a Reddit like page, I guess you say, to help you fix that problem. So don't worry about it. Don't get overwhelmed. If you want to take on like a big project car, don't be scared. There's information out there that can help you. There's endless amount of information online, so just don't be worried about it. Another huge reason why people love the RSX is a huge aftermarket sports scene. It's crazy how many companies out there that sells parts for RSX, and not even just for RSX, for Hondas and Acuras overall. It's crazy. If you want to keep it naturally aspirated, go for it. If you want to turbo it, they sell complete turbo kits for the car. If you want like a better motor in this car, they have the blueprint out there for you can do a K24 swap, or you can put a K20A3 in it. There's endless amount of things you can do to this car, and it's crazy because people have already done it, so they have the knowledge already out there. So if you want to go follow that video on YouTube, 20-minute video that shows you what you all need to do the swap, watch it. Whether you have a big budget, huge budget, there are companies out there that's making parts for the RSX, for Hondas overall. If you want premium budget car, premium brands, there's out there. If you want budget brands, out there. If you need different suspension parts, turbo kits, engine mounts, interior parts, external parts, there's companies out there making so many things on it. So don't be worried about it. If you need a fender, there's a company making carbon fiber fenders or even fiberglass fenders for that car. You need a new rear hatch, someone making a carbon fiber one. So don't worry. There's things out there that you need. You name it, someone's most likely out there is making that part. Another thing is, this one's like personal for me. I own an EP3, and the EP3 and the RSX are basically just cousins. It's just one's fat and one's skinny. They share the same platform, very similar. Well, not similar. They have exactly the same suspension, which is kind of crazy to me. They both have the legendary K series, like the first K series, the K20A2. It's low key like the fake K series. It has like not real VTEC, has fake VTEC. So if you want, you can swap that thing and and put a better K series in those cars. A lot of maintenance and upgrades and knowledge transfer from both of the cars. Like I know from the EP3, you can swap the the idle pulley. You can swap. That's like a common swap for the RSX motors. You can put the EP3 idle pulley on that. You can also swap like electronic steering rack, because I know the RSX comes with a belt driven uh steering pump, and a lot of people don't like it because I ain't gonna lie, those pump kind of leak a lot. So a lot of people, it's a lot of work, but they swap the whole steering rack for the electric steering rack, and I think it's perfectly worth it. It's worth it. Another reason why people love the RSX is because you can build this car into anything you want, and because going back what I said earlier, the blueprint is out there, the knowledge is out there. So if you want to drag this car, do it. If you want to do an all-wheel drive build for it, do it. If you want to keep it clean, if you want to build like a clean street car, they got it out there. If you want to build a stance car, people do, if you go on Instagram, you see a lot of stance cars out there. And those people most likely making videos on show you how to get so much negative camber on your car. If you build a time attack car, bro, people make like crazy front lifts for. I'm not into the time attack scene, but people have like these crazy fenders you can put in it, like big wings to you can keep the car lower. They have like this big bottom sheet on the ground for you can cut your time down. There's so many things out there for this car. It's crazy. There isn't one way how to build an RSX. There's many ways you can do it, and that's what gives it like a big strength, and that's why people love the RSX because there's not one recipe. There's multiple recipes. It's like when you build. There's other cars out there like you can only do it one way and that's it. There's nothing else you can do for it and that's GG's. Like that's kind of whack. Cause you want a car that has a lot of aftermarket sports scene for you can build it your way. You want to give it your own personal touch, and that's why I love the RSX for that. Also, another good reason for the RSX, if you want to learn how to drive stick, this is the best car to learn how to drive stick. Any Honda cars, but specifically this one because that's the one we're talking about. It's great. The clutch is forgiving. The shifter's in a great location. So kind of on the EP3, it's in a weird location, so like a lot of people don't like it. But the RSX, it's perfect. It's like a regular car. If you want to learn how to drive stick, you're gonna look cool learning how to drive stick. I think it's an excellent car for your first manual car because they're cheap. So finally, the last reason why I'm gonna put in this video is why people love the RSX. It's what's behind them. They have a big community, bro. Honda community, the Acura community, whatever it is. It's so crazy how big this community is. If you need anything for this car, if you don't have experience on working on cars, bro, you are in great hands. You can go on YouTube, you can go on Instagram, and even on Reddit and find the problem you're dealing with. You can go find a video and it will show you how to do that. And if you don't know what they're doing completely, you can just ask in the comments, type what you need, and people will really go out their way and tell you exactly what you need. They will leave like a whole paragraph, and they will might even leave your Instagram, like their Instagram, for you can hit them up and DM and send like for more help if you need later down the line. Like, people in the Honda community are so great. So, personally, when I'm in the car scene, when I want to buy a car, you want to have a great community because that's what you really need in life. Because I know my boy has a Dodge Dart, and Dodge Dart community is very small, but they're great. They're very loyal people, but it's nothing compared to the Honda scene, man. It's massive, bro. Whatever you need, bro, just go on YouTube, on the Reddit, or even ask people on Instagram, and they will help you solve that problem instantly. But when there's a lot of great, there's a lot of cons as well. So let's talk about why people don't really like the RSX. The biggest downfall is most people are going to end up buying a base model RSX. The Type S model had became very expensive. Finding a clean one, it's going to be very pricey, and it's very hard to find one in now this era because a lot of people told them, a lot of people just junked them, so it's getting hard to find a Type S now. And honestly, if you were shopping one for today, you will probably just buy a clean base model RSX and use the money that you was gonna spend on a Type S and just do your whole swap for yourself. Because what? The Type S, you literally makes 200 horsepower and it comes with a K20A3. You can literally put a K24 in it and put a 6-speed transmission, and you're technically a Type S. Let's be honest. You upgrade the suspension, put Brembo brakes on it from the TL, and you have a way better car than the Type S. Just put the badge on it, and you have a Type S. Well, another reason why people despise the RSX is because the people behind it. I guess there's young people who are getting into the car scene that got cheap, and they have cheap modification on the car. They have a loud exhaust that people call them fart cans, because I ain't gonna lie, we all know them Honda drivers you see on the street that sounds terrible. Like that shouldn't be coming from your car, brother. Some that have poor tuning, questionable body kits on it. There's some people who make their RSX look like from early 2000s for Fast and Furious #1. That's crazy. And if people make loud exhausts on these cars, poor tuning, they have loud exhausts, and I know you see them in the height when they're driving by next to you. They sound disgusting, those loud exhausts. Questionable body kits, and yes, the iconic fart can. And the cheap modifications hurt these cars because, come on, bro. You could have spent a little bit of money to get a nicer thing. Because I know people put these stiff motor mounts they get on eBay. That's not great because your whole dash can be shaking. That's not a great idea. And I know you guys gonna hear the fart can. The loud exhaust. I know you be at the red light, you be hearing coming. You're like, damn, where are they coming from? They're not even moving. They're right there. They're just so loud. I don't know why people want to put fart cans on their car. At the end of the day, you respect their build, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the fart can. Unfortunately, that gives this car a bad rep, those little dumb things that people do to them. But not every RSX like that. Not every people behind the steering wheel of RSX are like everyone else that makes these cars look kind of boo-boo. Some people might think the interior feels outdated compared to newer cars from the same year. And it's true. Don't forget the RSX from the early 2000s. So a lot of things is very plastically. You can't compare that car to like a modern day car or even like a car that's 10 years from that era, like a 2015 car, 2016 car. 'Cause at the end of the day, at that time, a lot of people were using cheap plastic parts to keep the car cost very cheap. So I think that it's not a great reasoning why people should like hate this kind of car. But honestly, there really isn't a lot of hate on the RX-6. It's reliable, easy to work on, and it's very affordable compared to other cars at its time, to be honest, because what? Affordable compared to any other car that you can get in the same era. I know the E36, E46, uh, G35, a 350Z, like those cars are gonna be more expensive and they might be in way worse conditions because a lot of people are buying those cars because they are kind of cheap at this moment. They're like about the same price point, but a lot of people are using them for takeovers or drifting them. So the prices are kind of low key starting to rise up at the moment. And so that's like a big, like, that's why I think like the RX-6 low key better because like if those cars are price going up, then the RX-6 price is going to stay neutral or it might go down a little bit. And you might find like a decent one for a good price. Like, besides that, there's there's not a lot of bad things about the RX-6, man. The community's great. And there's so many ways that you can build this car because it's like a big Lego at the end. The Hondas are just like Legos, man. And to me, that's exactly like after listening to all this is why I personally think the RX-6 became one like Honda or Acura is like one of the most legendary cars. Even though it's not Integra, it might not be an EF or an EG or EK. I think it's still up there in those tiers of like one of the most iconic Acura Honda cars they ever made. Well, guys, you love it or hate it. Personally, I love the RX-6. I technically have an RX-6. My EP3 is just the fat version of an RX-6, so that's why I love the RX-6. It's just the same kind of car at the end of the day. But the RX-6 has an endless amount of blueprints that people can follow depending on the type of build you want to do with these cars. If you want to do a stance build, a time attack build, a track car kind of build, an all-wheel drive track setup. If you want to build a nice street car, there's endless amount of things you can go online, find the forums to build your own car to any way you want to do with it. And the pricing's not that bad. I think you can get a nice, decent RX-6 between $4,000 to $5,000. And you're not gonna get a Type S because the Type S are way expensive, but the money, that's the difference. You do a whole swap. You can go to the junkyard, get yourself a K24 or K28-2, and maybe buy 6-speed on Facebook Marketplace, and you can technically have yourself a fake Type S if you want to do that, a little fake Type S. But you might find some cheap ones in there, and there's might be things you're gonna have to do to fix from the previous owner, but that's okay because that's where you're buying these cars. You want to learn how to get into the car scene and learn how to tinkle on cars, like fix some things here and there. So I think that's mad dope. But let me know down below what you guys think about the RX-6. Do you love it or hate it? And let me know what other cars I should do on this series. And it's your boy VTech Alley. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.